had a conviction very early on that the classroom building, the academic building, was kind of the core.
From a campus design, campus planning point of view, this is a key site on the campus.
It is a building that would be active all day long, and it gave us an opportunity to connect south and north.
The academic building at the terminus of the Voorhees Mall, how do we create the ability for the students to flow from North Campus to South Campus across this hill and embrace that with architecture and define it in the landscape?
It had to be a link between the two parts, and so we split the building in half.
The idea there was to make learning transparent. So much of learning is changing now. Moving away from merely auditory styles of learning, we're moving to more interactive styles of learning. We're learning more from peers, and so the idea was to literally fracture the building into two halves and create these very transparent liner buildings that define this movement through the site and up Seminary Hill, and to allow visual penetration into the computer rooms and the classrooms so that students could see one another throughout the day.
It really did create connections that didn't exist before.
The academic building provides all sorts of interactive learning spaces, multimedia rooms, classrooms, and spaces of that nature.
There's a lot of good evidence about specifically daylight and air quality and acoustics in classroom spaces. Classrooms with good natural light, views to the outdoors, people perform better in. Studies showing increases in standardized test scores, increased rate of retention of information.
The nature of an academic building is one that has some unique characteristics compared to, let's say, an office building. One of those characteristics is a very high occupant density in classrooms, and specifically high-density lecture halls. You're going to have a lot of people in a very small footprint, and what that means is you have to provide a lot more ventilation. With respect to classrooms, again, because you are serving a large population of people in a relatively small space, it's doubly important to make sure that you're monitoring that and providing adequate airflow so that you're not over-ventilating the space when there's no one there, or under-ventilating it when it's a core class that's going to be completely full of students. With an academic building, they have servers on every other floor. There's machine rooms, and these rooms, as you can imagine, with all these computers and motors running in them, can get very hot. The strategy we've pursued in Rutgers Academic Building is to use what's called a VRF system, which is short for Variable Refrigerant Flow. It's a simple terminal air conditioning unit like you would think of in your home. The difference is they tie this system to other coils on other floors, so you have multiple zones being fed by a single condensing unit, and the condensing unit is where you see all the energy savings. These have been implemented in both wings of the academic building, specifically for these high heat load areas in the data rooms and equipment rooms.
You want to make sure that faculty and staff are happy and healthy. You want them to do good work, and so I think that's part of the overall sort of benefit package, is that, yeah, you're in a building that you don't mind being in. It's important.